Yeah. So it sounds like a big part of, especially with newer clients that you work with at this time of the year, really the first step is defining what you want out of the business, right? So before
Yes.
you can even think about a marketing budget or marketing plan or, any of that stuff, you want to think about what do you want out of it, right? Do you bucket that into like different areas, like what I want out of it financially, what I want out of it, just from a day to day, like you mentioned, being able to come home and, at a reasonable hour and, attend family stuff, which is awesome and exactly what I want, too.
Yep.
How do you think about that? Or do you kind of put, like a list of just your wishes, or what does that look like?
Yeah. I mean, that's a really great question. And that's why I always have people do personal, professional, and financial goals. Okay. And here's the thing is you have to grow personally and professionally before you'll ever grow financially. So and with some people, it's not about having a mega firm that makes millions and millions of dollars. I've got one client I work with right now that she's like 750,000. That's all I want to make. I like a boutique firm. I have 2 staff members. It gives me a 55% net margin. I'm good with that. But
Yeah.
she's growing personally and professionally with how to manage the business, right? So knowing our personal and professional goals. So like, how many days a week do you want to work in the business? And if you only want to work 3 days, why do you only want to work 3 days? Is it because you want to spend more time with family, or is it because you don't really know why? You just think it sounds cool, right? I don't know. So I think it starts with the personal and professional goals. Now, knowing in this country, a lot of times success is by material things. So I'll talk in terms of revenue growth and having that house in Belize and this and that. But that's how this people in this country measure success a lot of times. So that's usually the conversation. But like with me, the biggest thing that was for me was to be home with the kids, but also to be able to go volunteer with the Red Cross. And we were able to do that. I think we were on 23 deployments where I was gone more than 30 days. And
awesome.
The business doesn't miss a beat. People just step in. The systems are airtight. Everything runs the same from marketing all the way through to the end. And we have redundancy in our training so that everybody just steps in. And so to me, that was the most important. So that's part of my professional goals, was to get a business that serves me instead of the other way around.
And I think a benefit of that, I didn't know would happen once I started making some more of those moves. And it wasn't just me running every single marketing campaign, and we started to develop some of that infrastructure was, it really, one, reduced anxiety, and also I think it gives you more space to think, to really do your best thinking, right? And you're not, when you feel more confident in that, the clients are being taken care of well and other things like that, I feel like that's what really allows you to do that unstressed thinking about really what's best for the business. And you're not kind of forcing yourself into making these like very quick or uneducated decisions. And I think that being able to take a step back, allows you to go 2 steps forward. At least that's been my personal experience.
Well, I would agree. So there's a difference between working on the business and working in it.
Right.
And when we're working in it,
understand the difference of that,
when we're working in it, we kind of have blinders on. We can only see what's in front of us. We don't have the bandwidth to be able to be up above the trees to see. So that's why, when we first start a business, we don't have a choice. We're wearing all the hats, but we start to fire ourselves from certain roles to eventually where all I'm doing is overseeing things and then thinking about what's next, and how are we going to go about doing that. One struggle that I see business owners have is relinquishing that control, right?
Certainly.
I experienced it where I was doing sales and I was closing people left and right. And I'm like, man, I can't have somebody else do this. They can't sell as good as me. And I found out that was wrong, and I trained them, and they came in and they had very, very similar closing rates. And that was my light bulb moment that, you know what, if I can do it, all that means is that it's physically possible. And then I can train somebody. So as long as I can train somebody and I can hire somebody that's better than me at it, knock yourself out. I don't have an ego in this thing, and now I can not worry about sales anymore, and then that starts to elevate me to where I'm finally at the 50,000 foot view